That's just the way it is, oh yeah. Things will never be the same. That's just the way it is, oh yeah. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Inside the Song. Here, we don't just listen to music, we listen to truths. Every lyric, every verse, every pain behind the beat. Today, we are going deep into one of the most honest songs ever written. A song that still echoes through every street, every struggle, every time when someone says nothing ever changed. Tupac Shakur changes. Let's break it down. Inside the song, Tupac changes.
Come on. I see no changes. Wake up in the morning and I ask myself, it's like.
You know, every generation has that one voice that refuses to shut up when the world gets ugly. For my generation, that voice was Tupac Shakur. Of course, I was such a child, but still, Change wasn't just another rap track. It was a confession, a mirror, and honestly, a warning. Let's take it slow. Let's really listen.
Cops give a damn about a need, bro. Pull a trigger, kill him, he's a heat, bro. Get it to the.
Part 1. The world he saw. Tupac wrote Change in the 90s, but when you play it today, it still feels like the evening news. Back then, America was fighting a so-called war on drugs. Black communities were cornered by poverty, racism, police brutality. And the cycle kept repeating. And Tupac, he wasn't a saint, but he was awake. He saw the trap, he lived in it, and he wanted the world to hear it for what it was. Not what the headlines said it was. He starts right away. I see no change. Wake up in the morning and I ask myself, is life worth living? Should I blast myself? That line is just dark. It's heavy, honest. He's talking about mental exhaustion, about waking up in a world that kills your hope before breakfast. He's saying, I'm tired of surviving, man. I wanna live. Okay? Surviving and living. He's talking about both. And then he goes, I'm tired of being poor, and even worse, I'm black. My stomach hurts, so I'm looking for a purse to snatch. He's not glorifying crime. He is explaining desperation. How society builds criminals and then acts shocked when they appear. That's the genius of Tupac. He never separated morality from the context. He said, you judge what I do, but you never ask why I do it. Part 2. The system he fought.
That's the way it is. Come on. That's just the way it is.
Then he hits the next layer. Cops give a damn about Negro. Pull a trigger, kill a nigger. He's a hero. That's rage. Yes, but it's also a thesis. He's exposing how the system rewards violence against the poor, the black, while pretending it's about law and order. Remember, this was before body cams, before hashtags, before Black Lives Matter. Tupac said it straight in the 90s. He saw living the same nightmare people still post about today. And yet, in that same breeze, he says, we gotta start making change. Learn to see me as a brother instead of two distant strangers. That's where Tupac rises above the anger. He never wanted revenge. He wanted transformation. He's saying, I'm not your enemy. I'm your reflection. That's the part people miss. Tupac wasn't just a rapper. He was a bridge between rage and reason, between pain and hope, between what America was and what it could be. Part 3. The personal contradictions.
How to be responsible for what every black male did. I don't know. Yes, I am gonna.
Now, what makes change real isn't just what he said. It's who said it. Tupac lived contradictions. He talked about peace but carried guns. He loved his people but also fell into the same traps he warned them about. That's what made him believable. He wasn't perfect, he was honest. You hear it when he say, I would love to go back to when we played as a kids. But things changed. That's the way it is. There is a quiet sadness in that line. It's not nostalgia, it's grief. He's grieving the innocence he lost, the community that broke, the unity that vanished. He was only in his 20s, but he talked like a man twice his age, because life had aged him early. Part 4, the bigger truth.
Lots of people, they'll be acting right, 'cause both black and white and smoke tonight, and the only time we chill.
Then he turns the mirror on everyone, not just the system, not just himself. It takes a skill to be real, time to heal each other. And still, I see no change. Can't a brother get a little peace? He's talking to all of us, the oppressed, the oppressor, everyone caught in the loop. He's saying we can fix the world if we don't fix ourselves.
To see a black president, it ain't a secret, don't conceal the fact. The penitentiary's back.
That's what makes change a human song, not just a black anthem. It's a universal. It's about that frustration every person feels when life doesn't match their hope. And then that line, that one line that defines the song. That's just the way it is. 6 words that sound simple but they cut deep. Because when Tupac says he doesn't mean it as an acceptance, he means it as an accusation. He's mocking the phrase. He's saying you all keep saying that's just the way it is, like nothing can change. But I'm telling you, it doesn't have to be that way. Part 5. Tupac, the prophet.
You gotta operate the easy way. I made a G today, but you made it in a sleazy way.
What's crazy is Tupac wrote this song when he was just in his early 20s. Think about that. Most people at that age are still figuring themselves out, like I do, you know. He was figuring out a whole world's pain, and he predicted all police brutality, social division, the cycles of revenge, the numbness. He warned us. If nothing changed, nothing will change. Even the hook, borrowed from Bruce Hornsby. The way it is was intentional. Tupac took a soft 80s pop melody and turned into a cry for survival. That's art, that's transformation. Part 6, the heart of the song. There is this moment in the track right before the final verse where his tone shifts. You can feel the fatigue that he says, we gotta make a change. It's time for us as a people to start making some change.
Things will never be the same.
And that's when you realize this wasn't just a song. It was a letter to the future, to us. He wasn't begging for sympathy. He was challenging us to wake up. He was stop talking about change like it's someone else's job. Part 7, legacy and lesson. Tupac didn't live to see the world he dreamed of. He was killed before change was even officially released. That's so sad. But that's what makes it powerful. His words outlived him. Every time you play his track, it feels like he's still here, shaking his head, saying, you still don't get it, do you? And yet, the message never dies because the truth doesn't expire. He said once, I might not change the world, but I will spark the brain that will. That's exactly what change did. It sparked millions of brains. The idea that awareness is the first step forward for freedom. Part 8, the real talk. When you really strip it down, change isn't about America only. It's about every place where injustice becomes normal. It's about every person who wakes up tired of pretending everything is fine. It's about every kid who feels invisible, every noise that goes unheard. That's why Tupac still matters, because he said the things everyone feels, but few can articulate. He didn't give solutions, he gave perspectives, he gave honesty, and sometimes that's the hardest kind of hope, the kind that hurts before it heals. The ending, part 9. So when you hear that chorus, that's just the way it is, things will never be the same. That's just the way it is, oh yeah, things will never be the same. Don't take it as a surrender, take it as a dare to question it, a dare to prove it wrong. Because that's what Tupac wanted. Not sympathy, but movement, not silence, but truth. And maybe that's the real message behind change. Change doesn't start in politics or music or protests. It starts in the mirror. That's where Tupac looked first. That's where we should too. That was change, and maybe that's what Tupac really wanted us to do. Not just repeat his words, but live them to actually what makes that change. If this hits you, share it. Not for the algorithm, but for the message. Because real change starts when the right ideas reach the right hearts. I will see you in the next one. This is Inside the Song. Thank you.
Not guilty.
And still I see no changes.